Very, very, very important thing. Do you know that most of the top Ghanaian musicians are actually making all their streams from Nigeria? Yes. The top Ghanaian musician of head, the top Ghanaian musician of your head, his biggest streams are coming from Nigeria. We have few of them that are having their own outside Nigeria, but majority, the top ones that we know, they are being listened to in Nigeria. And so I'm going to ask him a few questions on the streets, on social media that people have been asking. Nigerians don't support Ghanaian music? Yes. Chief Obi, how are you doing?
Hi DJ, how you doing?
I'm doing
fine. How about yourself?
I'm doing awesome. Great. I'm doing great. So, Chief, I spoke with you not long ago, and you showed me certain data. You gave me certain information that really prompted me over this discussion or this question that people keep asking, that or keep saying that Nigerians do not support Ghana music. I mean, looking at the data that you showed me, what do you have to say about this perception of Nigerians not supporting Ghanaian music?
Well, first of all, I think facts speak for themselves.
Yeah.
So I think the best thing is for us to show them the data, and then have them make up their mind.
Sure.
So if you look at Jackie, let's start with Jackie for instance. So on Spotify lists the top 5 series that streamed all the artists' music the most, right?
Yeah.
And so if you look at Jackie, for instance, the number 1 city is Lagos, Nigeria, with 107,465 listeners. Then you have Accra, Ghana, with 59,714 listeners. Then Port Harcourt, also in Nigeria, with 45,273 listeners. Then at number 4, you have Nairobi, Kenya, with 45,033 listeners. And then finally, you have Katsina, Nigeria, in the north, with 38,836 listeners. So that's Jackie alone. You know.
Interesting.
And then we can also look at Shatta Wale. In spite of all the controversies in the past, his top 5 cities that stream his song, number 1 is Lagos, Nigeria, with 55,448 listeners. Then you have Accra, Ghana, with 37,318 listeners. Then you have Paris, France, 34,796 listeners. Then you have Los Angeles, US, 33,535 listeners. And then finally, London, Great Britain, with 33,147 listeners. And then we can also talk about Shaq. Of course, Sark. Sark is, I mean, he's well, yeah, Sark, he's well loved in Nigeria. So I'm not surprised with that one. So at number 1, he has. So at number 1, he has Lagos, Nigeria, with 107,321 listeners.
Wow.
Then Accra, Ghana, 80,192 listeners. Then Port Harcourt, Nigeria, 42,214 listeners. Then you have Katsina, Nigeria, 38,312 listeners. And then finally at number 5, you have Nairobi, Kenya, 30,630 listeners.
Really, then I think Sarkodie is really doing well in Nigeria. Looking at your first coming from Lagos and your third coming from Port Harcourt, that's very impressive from
Third, and so on fourth is coming from Katsina, Nigeria too.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then we can talk about Black Sheriff.
Yeah, Blacko.
So at number one, he has Lagos, Nigeria, 239,304 listeners. At number two, he has Port Harcourt, Nigeria, 96,688 listeners. At number three, he has Katsina, Nigeria, 92,684 listeners. At number four, he has Accra, Ghana, with 92,610 listeners. And then finally, at number five, he has Ibadan in Nigeria, 54,171 listeners.
So just imagine a big brand like Black Sheriff's entire like top 5 list is all coming from Nigeria, in the exception of Accra, which even happens to be the 4th city that listens to Black Sheriff. And
the
still
4th,
somebody will wake up and say that Nigerians do not support Ghanaian music. Then who are those people in Nigeria streaming those songs? Are there that a lot of Ghanaians living in Nigeria like that? Man, let's be real.
Yeah. And then we can also mention those that have like number 2, because of all the top artists from Nigeria, if they don't have Nigeria at number 1, Stonebwoy.
Yeah, Stonebwoy.
So Stonebwoy, his number 1 city is Accra, Ghana, with 61,582 listeners. And number 2 is Lagos, Nigeria, with 36,853. Then you have London with 17,799 listeners. Then you have Nairobi at number 4 with 15,525 listeners. And then finally you have Port Harcourt, Nigeria, with 14,856 listeners.
So clearly there is no single top A-list Ghanaian artist that is not earning streams from Nigeria. The support is there. But I don't know what our Ghanaian brothers want to see before they can actually conclude the fact that Nigerian is doing their quota to support Ghana. I don't know.
Yeah. Because people listen to what they like.
Yes, of course.
Understand? It's not really like you don't listen to music to support. You listen to the music that makes you feel good. You understand?
Yeah.
And so wherever the music is coming from.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And that brings me to the question of Ghanaian DJs always being in the armpit of the pundits and all that, saying that Ghanaian DJs are responsible for this, the Ghanaian DJs are not supporting Ghanaian music. What is your whole view about this whole thing? The Ghanaian DJs?
Because it's the DJs are being
the Ghanaian DJs.
Because it's the DJs are being crucified wrongfully. Because it's all about demand and supply. You understand? And so you're a DJ yourself, so you know what I'm talking about. It's about demand and supply. When you go to a place, you're gonna give the people what they want to listen to.
Yes, and there is something people forget. The DJ himself has a career. He's supposed to play something that will earn him more fans. And if he's supposed to play something that will earn him more fans, it should be good and quality music. You don't expect him to go for a show and play a substandard music, songs that the audience cannot relate to it. He has to play what the people want.